In today's video, I'm going to show you how I use this system to take my painting of cabinets and doors to the next level and save at least a few hours, if not a few days. Alright, stick with me. I'll explain everything to you right now on how I made it and what's involved and how to use it. Okay everybody, so I'm going to start over here at the hanging rack that I made. So basically this is not my idea. I'm not trying to take credit for this. Painters, professional painters and companies that sell painting products have been doing this for years. So this is not my idea at all. I didn't create this. What I did was look at some of the designs that were out there and make what I needed and take away the stuff that I didn't need. Kind of like Bruce Lee with his chipping away the inessentials to his art. So the way I started off was with wooden hangers, and I have these little hooks here, and these hooks, what I did was, this is if you've been following along, you know that I'm doing the window seat right now for the built-ins. So the doors are actually pretty long this way. So this is the bottom of the door. So what I did was I screwed the hooks into the bottom of the door, and then I just have them like this so nobody can see them. Now I'll pull them out since they're painted. I'll take them out and put a little bit of filler in there, and nobody will ever see that. Sand it off, and then I can touch up with paint, but that's going to be the bottom. So this is also going to be close to the floor, only a few inches off the floor, so nobody's ever going to see that. So even if you filled it and you didn't do a great job, no one's ever going to know. But we'll fill it perfectly anyway. So take those hooks and you hang them on a standard wooden hanger just like this. You can buy the metal hangers, that works also. And that actually is a better idea if you can find those metal hangers. They kind of look like they're real close together, double rounded. Those are very strong. You can use those and they won't have any flex to them. So basically you just hang them on here, which is completely comprised of 1.5 inch PVC pipe on the outers. These PVC fittings, they reduce from 1.5 to 1.25. And the reason that I used 1.25 here across, this is 1.25 inch PVC, because if I were to use the 1.5, the hangers wouldn't fit over it. So we needed 1.25. So 1.25 is still strong. So there's not a lot of give there at all. So that's perfect for that. I made it a 2-tier, as you can see by the bottom there. Not only does this keep it sturdy and it acts like a cross member, but if you have a lot of doors, then you can use the bottom as a hanging rack as well, and you can do double the amount of doors. So now let's move into the other side of the garage where the spraying happens. Okay, so I tried to turn it so where you can see it. I'll give you a close-up in a minute, but this is all 1.5 inch PVC. So we have the fittings down at the bottom that gives you a cross member, and that stops it from racking back and forth. Now, if you see any movement here, it's because right now I had to move it for the light onto unlevel ground. But when this is sitting on level ground where I had it, there's no movement at all. So this is just for demonstration purposes. So I'm going to get a close-up of this in a minute, but what I did was I took an eye hook so that, because I told you before, the hangers won't fit over the 1.5 inch PVC, and I want this to be strong while I'm spraying. So let me give you a close-up and show you what I do with this. Okay, so here I have an eye hook. This is a 4.5 inch long eye hook. I have a nut with a washer and a nut with a washer on the top and the bottom, sandwiching through. I drilled a hole through the 1.5 inch PVC. Now I left this slightly loose so that it can spin. If you want to, you could tighten this up and then it won't move at all. It'll keep it sturdy. But I'm going to zoom out now so that you can see how this is going to work for me to spray the door. Now, I have the door with the hooks on the hanger. And since the hanger doesn't fit over here, it fits on the eye hook, and it's going to serve two purposes. One, it's hanging the door. Okay, so now my hands are free for this operation. I'm able to spray all the corners of the door. And I'm going to demonstrate all of this in a minute with the spray gun, so bear with me, okay guys? So then after I get all the edges sprayed, then I will continue to spray across in the long direction first. Then all I have to do is spin the whole thing around, and now I can start with the edges here. And if I need to, if it's moving too much, then I can just stop it there and tighten up the nut and keep it in place. Or I can, since I'm going to have gloves on, hold the hanger in place, spray all the edges, and then spray across on the back. Now, after I'm done with that, we need to dry the first coat. So what we do, we take the hanger off here, we bring it inside and we hang it on the hanging rack, and then we get the next door, we take the next door, and we continue the process. Now, for the second step, What you do is now the second coat is ready to be applied. You want to get good coverage. Then you spray the edges again. And then instead, since the first coat we went horizontally side to side, now you want the best coverage you're going to get. Now you're going to spray in a vertical pattern up and down across the whole door. And what that's going to ensure is a good cross hatch pattern. Anything you may have missed on your prime coat or your first coat in this direction, you will pick up and down this way in a vertical pass. Then once that's done, we take it, we bring it back to the drying rack, and we let it dry. And we leave everything alone until we're ready for the third and final coat. So now I'm going to stop the camera, and we're going to have everything set up with the plastics, and we're going to spray the doors, and you can see how this operation works. Okay guys, so I hope that this really helped you in understanding the painting process, how I go about spraying these doors to save a little bit of time. I used to use a drying rack system where I would spray one side of the door, then lay it on that drying rack. You've seen it in photos before. That doubles the amount of time it takes me to finish this project. So I need to really speed things up. So I just went to your local big box store and bought all the pieces of the PVC. Now you can make this to any size that you want. So across here is about 60 inches across, and the bottom also has to be exactly the same because you need to keep those pieces even. So what I did was, instead of cutting these on the miter saw, I just cut them with a reciprocating saw because it was just a lot quicker, and because they are rounded, I didn't have to worry about clamping them down in any way. And then everything is just dry fit together. There is no PVC glue on this because once I'm done, I'm able to break it down and put everything away. I need all the storage I can get. Okay guys, so I hope you guys enjoy the video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up if you like the video. Don't forget to hit the picture of that little notification bell. That'll notify you every time I upload a video. Okay guys, so I'm going to break everything down now and get ready to go install this. I'm going to film that as well, so make sure you stay tuned for that installation. If you haven't seen the rest of the cabinet building series, make sure you head back onto my channel. I have the whole thing put into a playlist. Everything's grouped together so you can go back and watch whatever you need to watch in the order you want, or the whole series. Alright guys, thanks for joining me in the shop today. Make sure you guys join me next time in the field.